Hi guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to do a review of a watch which I've just bought last week and I'm completely over the moon with it. It's something that I've wanted for a long time. I've put it off, and mainly the reason I've put it off actually is just because, it's a lot of money to spend on these watches, and even though I don't keep many of them, a lot of them it's just I like to review them, I like to purchase them and send them back if it's not right. But this one I'm 100% keeping. I'm completely over the moon with it. So what I've actually bought is the Omega Seamaster. And it's the black dial. I absolutely love this watch. I just think it looks absolutely stunning. It's kind of like a shiny look, but actually it looks really smart, so I think you could wear it in lots of different places for lots of different occasions, and that for me was a big selling point, because when I'm looking at all these different styles of watches that you can get, I was looking at the Tudor Black Bay, for example, which I think is a really nice watch, but the only thing that put me off a little bit is it does look kind of older, where this kind of to me looks more sporty. And I'm quite a sporty person in general. Like I'm a black belt in karate, I was a karate champion, I played rugby, I go to the gym all the time. And even though I'm not going to wear this watch to the gym, I feel like I'm quite a sporty person, it's part of my character. And so I think you want a watch that kind of reflects what you're like, in general. So what I've noticed so far about wearing this is people do notice it. A lot of people have said to me, oh, that's a nice watch, what is that? And I think it's just because it is kind of shiny, but also it just looks really nice. It really stands out on the wrist. I think it's an absolutely stunning piece, to be honest. I've always wanted a Seamaster. Effectively, my dad's always had them, and so as I was growing up, I was kind of used to seeing them. And as I say, it wasn't a watch that I was actually going to go and buy, because it was slightly more expensive than a Tudor, for example. And so I thought I was more likely to go and buy a Tudor, but then, as I say, when I seen this, I decided just to go for it. So just to give you a breakdown of what I've thought so far, it's a really nice weight, feels really nice on the wrist, which is definitely a bonus. I was wearing it in the office last week, and just walking around with it on and everything else, it's not a heavy watch. It definitely is like the perfect weight, I think. In terms of size, I've heard some people thinking it's quite a big watch at 42mm. As you can see, it does actually look nice on the wrist. I've seen people with smaller wrists wearing the watch, and I think it also looks good on the smaller wrist as well. Some watches you have to be careful about that, and you just wouldn't get away with it. But with this one, I feel like you do. What I've been trying to do when it comes to choosing watches is trying to choose a watch that I think I'm going to wear for a long time. I don't want to be buying a watch that I know in 6 months or a year's time I'm going to be looking for a replacement for that particular watch. I really want to buy a watch that I think I'm going to wear for the next 20 years. I could see myself keeping this watch for 20 years quite happily, getting it serviced and having it as, as a watch that you've really took a lot of pride in looking after. And that's really what I was looking for, and that's what I feel this watch is to me. There's been quite a few complaints, I guess you could say, about the bracelet being kind of thick at the back. So if I just zoom in here, I'm just going to show you what the bracelet looks like. Now, as you see, it doesn't taper in like some bracelets. So some of my watches actually have a bracelet which does taper in, so I do see where people are coming from. But one thing I'll say is, this is not uncomfortable at all. For me, that is actually a very comfortable bracelet. It makes absolutely no difference to me. I actually kind of like it being slightly thicker at the back. And I actually wore a watch yesterday to compare it, which is tapered. And I honestly do not see any benefit to having the tapered strap at the back. If that's something that you're potentially getting put off by, I would say go and try it on first. The only thing is, obviously in the store, it's not been sized to your wrist, so it's quite difficult to tell until it's actually been sized to your wrist what you're going to think of it and what it's going to feel like. But for me, I took the risk. I bought it before getting it sized, obviously, and totally over the moon with it. I've ordered the rubber strap. That's going to take a few days to get here, I think. And I think it looks phenomenal on the rubber strap. Possibly more for the summer, but I think it will look great on holiday and things like that to have it on the rubber strap. So what we've got is a 300-meter diving watch with a coaxial master chronograph, which is a 42mm watch. It's anti-magnetic. It's got the date, transparent case back, chronometer, helium escape valve, which is obviously standard. Some people again actually have complained about that, but I'll get into that in a bit. But I'll just tell you right now, I really like the helium escape valve. I think it makes it different, and I think it shows the heritage of the watch. Lugs are 20mm, thickness is 13.6mm, case diameter is 42, water resistance to 30 bar, so 300 meters. So basically this watch is absolutely perfect for me. As I say, I'm absolutely over the moon with it. I can see me wearing it with a suit, I can see me wearing it like everywhere and anywhere. And if I was to actually just have one watch I honestly think this is potentially the watch I would have. You know, I mean, if you were looking for a watch to have that you could wear to work, that you could wear when you're meeting friends, that you could wear with a suit, a tuxedo, I think honestly this could be that watch. I think you could get away with it at any time. And it's by far my favourite watch that I have right now. It's actually made me look at the Speedmaster now, just because, you know, I've been looking at all these different types of brands that I was gonna buy. Like I was looking at Breitling, I was thinking about buying a Tudor, and don't get me wrong, I love watches, so I'm obviously gonna do that at some point. I'm on the waiting list at the moment for the new Pelagos, and that's something I'm definitely gonna get because I've been wanting that watch for a while. But this watch for me is something really special, and I think if it's worth going in, try it on, see what you think, because in person it's completely different. I actually seen this watch in the jeweler shop several times, and I didn't even try it on. I just looked at it and didn't even really think much of it. As soon as it was on the wrist, I thought, I have to get this watch, and that's what I did, and I pulled the trigger. So where does it stand? I mean, when we look at the price of it, so I think it's 5,100 to buy it. You know, for 3,000 or 3,500 you can get a Tudor Black Bay. You know, how do you decide? And this is the sort of dilemma that most of us have. I had that dilemma. And I think what you have to really think of is, what watch would you like to wear really, like, as often? Like, which of them would you put on and think, I'm really proud to have this watch. I'm proud that I managed to buy this watch, and would make you actually want to wear it all the time. I don't think it's about, you know, it's not about whether it's going to go up in value, because most of these watches probably won't. It's more about, you know, what is going to resonate with you, what's going to make you feel great about having it on. One thing to note here is, obviously this is a 300-meter diving watch, and most of us are never going to go diving. I've been diving once in Australia. I went to 15 meters, and I'm probably never going to do that again. And at the same time, if I was to do it again, I definitely wouldn't wear this watch. So, you know, why would you buy a dive watch? Well, you're not going to go to the moon, but you also might buy a Speedmaster, you know, because of the fact that it looks great. It's got some heritage behind it, it's got style behind it, and the fact that it's been built to do something like that, you know, it says something about what you want, you know, and how you see yourself as a person, and how you sort of look at life. And I think that's what a watch is. It's a reflection of you, and how you see things, and how you look at life. So what's my verdict on the Seamaster? The first thing I'm going to say to you is, if you're looking for a really nice all-rounder that you can wear to a business event, if you can wear it on a date, you can wear it with friends, or you can wear it in a suit, then this is probably a very good option for you. And it's the reason that I've gone for it. What I really like is the fact that it looks smart, but also at the same time, it's got a nice shine to it. It kind of looks really cool, as in you could wear it in a casual basis. You could change the strap to the rubber strap, which would make it a bit more casual, so you could wear it on holiday, or you could wear it with a tuxedo. I honestly think this is the sort of watch you could get away with at so many different types of occasions and different sort of suits or attire. Everyone's going to have an opinion on that, so you might not think that's the case, but that's how I would wear it. I would quite happily wear it on those occasions. And when you look at James Bond, when he wore the Seamaster, he sort of wore it with a tuxedo and things as well, and he managed to pull it off. So I'm not saying I'm James Bond, but you know, I think you could potentially get away with it as well. So it's a great watch if you're looking for something that I think looks a bit sporty, but at the same time looks nice and fairly classic looking in a way, but not to the same level as like a Tudor. You know, it's a more modern watch. Is it worth paying extra for? Because I think it's about 1,500 to 2,000 more than the Tudor. I think it is. The reason for that is, for me, I wanted something that looked a bit more modern, and I am actually waiting for the Pelagos, which I think has got a nice modern feel to it as well. And I think that'll be the big thing for my collection. I think that's going to look great. I just think that this watch has something as well about that. It has something that kind of looks modern but also sophisticated. So if you're looking for a fantastic watch, go check it out and see if you're interested in it. See what it's like in the shop, because I'm telling you, it looks different on the wrist than it does in videos and pictures. I can tell you that for a fact, because I hadn't even considered it until I tried it on. But listen, I'm going to go in because it's raining, so I hope you like this review, and speak to you soon.